present a list of qualifications. Me. So that I would know something about him. But I've heard good things about him. I've heard he's a compassionate, intelligent person, very reliable in all aspects of life. And so I'll let it go ahead. I'll let you go ahead. All right. I imagine another reason why you chose me was that I'm not 93, I'm going on 93. I'll be 93 in October. Anyway, I'll forgive that mistake. Even Tim makes mistakes sometimes.
Even
But one reason I think she chose me is that she thinks a 92-year-old has a bit of wisdom. Wrong. I think I've been going downhill for quite a while. But anyway, here we are. And I'll tell you what, you think Jean-Michel is hearing me now?
I don't think so.
If he isn't, the reason I say that is that I am a retired clergyman. And every time I've had a speech, I've always written out what I've said, and then I not memorize it, but use it and speak from it. And so I've written this out, and even though it's in my own handwriting, not too great, I'm going to let you have it. But first of all, let me read it so that Jean-Michel knows exactly what I said. I don't want him to come back at me tell me about falsehoods he heard. So here I go, I'm going to read it to you. I just didn't read sermons or anything previously, but I think this is a good method now. The reason I've been chosen to say a few words at this pleasant occasion is that I happen to be grandfather of the bride. From 1945 through 1958, this beautiful lady presented me with 6 beautiful, very intelligent children. And first came Tim. You can see that gray hair. First came Tim, and then Daniel, and then Carolyn, and then Marilyn, who passed away. We love her very much. And then Donald, and then Ronald, right here. He's been taking care of me every step of the way. Anyway, here I'm adding to this. I shouldn't. Anyway, we've prized these 6 children, and now we prize our 10 grandchildren and our 2 great-grandchildren. And Jacob is one of them right here. And I have another one, Joseph. He's about 2, isn't it? He's a very intelligent guy. We've had many happy times, and now we have this happy time with Tia and Jean-Michel. We wish for you 2 many years of happiness. What went into the choice you and Tia made, I don't mean for you to answer this. What went into the choices Tia and Jean-Michel made? Romance was involved. I know that. It's just, it naturally goes with this. And I'm glad for it. And it's God sent. And there were other choices too. There were other reasons for your choice. And I've heard some of them. I've heard Tim talk about Jean-Michel. And I respect him to tell me the truth, that this man is a good one. And he'll be with you. and he'll be involved in your life and give you honor, and he'll give you security as often as he can. I read to, here I can't add to this. These are responsible and intelligent people, I know that. And other conversations they had were a part of their choices. Let me tell you about Bill and Helen Silverman. This doesn't go on forever, don't worry. Bill and Helen Silverman were close friends of ours. Both passed away now, but they were dear friends. And Bill was very old during the time we knew him. Once I said to Bill, I think it was at their 60th wedding anniversary, Bill, you and Helen have had what seems to be wedded bliss. What went into your asking Helen to be your bride? And Bill said, I don't know if I should tell you this, but when I was just a senior in high school, I made a list. I guess I could have entitled it Requirements for a Good Wife. It was a list. When Helen and I were students at Cincinnati University, I was attracted to Helen, and best of all, she met the requirements on my list. Now that may seem kind of cold to you and kind of scientific, but he was a warm person and a scientific person as well. In high school, he had every science course going, and high school chemistry of all sorts, and physics and mathematics. His college courses also preparing him to be an electrical engineer, and he became a brilliant engineer, preparing plans and details for electrical grids for communities all over the country. Anyway, so much for Bill and Helen. Jean-Michel and Tia each had certain criteria in mind, I'm sure, and they made their choices on that. Now, parents may have had some input. I won't tell what input you had because I don't know. But parents try to have input at least through the years about who the children are to marry. And they don't like to interfere, but sometimes they make their input into the decision making. But let me tell you a story about my son Tim in this regard. I'll leave it to you as whether it's a true story or whether it is a fictional story to illustrate a point. Jean-Michel and Tia made a trip together to Scoggin so Jean-Michel could meet her parents. And they had a nice dinner, and after the dinner, Tim suggested that the two, Tim and Jean-Michel, went out and had a talk. So they took a walk together along the fjord, and Tim said, Jean-Michel, someone has told me you want me to be your father-in-law. Is that so? Jean-Michel said, well, I do know I want you to give me Tia's hand in marriage. If you will, when we marry, if you will give me your hand, naturally you will become my father-in-law. I don't think there's anything I can do to avoid that. Bad statement. Michelle should not have said that. Is my story true? No, it isn't true. It may be partially true. I need to declare here and now, since I don't want to make at least two permanent enemies in my life, it is pure fiction. But fiction can be used in illustrating a point. Parents are interested, parents and grandparents are very interested in what is about to take place in the life of their children they truly love. We think that Tia and Jean-Michel have talked over many aspects of the family roles they are assuming, including aspects we might think to be mundane. like how they will team up to provide material support for the family, about not living beyond their means. Some people had problems on that, and things like that. So here I am, the grandfather of the bride, and not really saying anything significant, I think. But I want to say something significant now. Possibly something I've said has significance, but just to make sure, I want to quote a charge to the bride and groom. And I don't mean a charge that I want some money. It's a charge that I read to many couples as a minister. I have helped along the way during their weddings. Hundreds of them, I don't know how many. It is from the Order for Matrimony in the Anglican Church. Jean-Michel and Tia, I require and charge you both as you stand in the presence of God to remember that love and loyalty alone will avail as the foundation of a happy and enduring home. No other human ties are more tender, no other vows more sacred than these you now assume. And if these solemn vows are kept unbroken, and if steadfastly you endeavor to do the will of your Heavenly Father, your lives will be full of joy, stability, and the home you are establishing will abide in peace. Jean-Michel and Tia, we love you. We wish for you precious and steady, true love all throughout a number of years of commitment to each other in all aspects of your life. Thank you, Tia, for being my grandfather and for being the beauty that you are. And thank you.